Hey there guys, it's Salis, and today at the Eurogamer Expo I'm joined by Ben from Born Ready Games, representing Strike Suit Zero here at Eurogamer Expo. So I suppose the first question should be, what is Strike Suit Zero?
It's a good question. So Strike Suit Zero is a space combat game where we're really looking to bring back the space combat genre and make it relevant again. So, it's all about the dogfight. It's all about, epic fleet-wide space battles, really grand scale. And, really nailing that dogfight. And, we looked at things like Wing Commander, Free Space, Freelancer, all those classic 90s space combat titles are our real inspiration here. But you go back to them today and there's certain archaic qualities that we wanted to fix. So with respect to that, the feature at the heart of our game is the strike suit itself, which is a transforming craft. So you can switch from a ship to a mecha, a robot, at the touch of a button. And that solves a problem that we call jousting, which is where you end up just flying past each other. The robot isn't just a gimmick, it's a feature at the very heart of the game. And we think it really does redefine space combat. We think we're really modernising it, and we've got something here that can bring it to a new generation of gamer.
Yeah, and as for the mech itself, it has a distinctly Gundam-esque style. What was the main inspiration behind that?
So yeah, the mech itself has been designed by a Japanese mecha designer called Junji Ikobu. Okay, so he's worked on titles like Steel Battalion, Infinite Space on the DS, and he also worked on the Appleseed anime series. So for mecha fans, he's a big pull to the game, and you see that with the space combat. It's quite a Western thing, but Junji's obviously a Japanese mecha designer, so there's a real fusion of cultures there that we're really keen to portray in the game. So that's what the mech's all about, yeah.
Yeah, and it also meshes really well with the world itself. It's not just like a black generic space setting. It's really bright and colourful. Was this a design choice, or did this just kind of happen because of the style of the mech?
No, absolutely. Art is a very important thing for a space game, I think. Like you say, a space as an environment is dark, desolate, and pretty featureless. And our intention was to really bring out the colour and vibrancy and variation of the world, and make sure that level to level, you've got a lot of interesting things to look at and interact with, and to be part of that universe and make sure there's a really definable atmosphere. And again, that ties into things like the soundtrack, because visuals are only one facet here. You want a good soundtrack to go with it to complement that. And with respect to that, we've brought on Paul Ruskay, who did the Homeworld soundtrack. So bringing him on board has been fantastic. And we've got those visuals and that sound, and we think we've got a really unique atmosphere and tone because of that.
You certainly have managed to do that, and I've got to give you a massive thank you for bringing back joysticks to PC gamers. Was this something you were thinking of while you were designing the game, or was this part of the initial thing, we want joysticks back in the world?
So, as I was saying earlier, we want to bring back space combat as a genre, and we want new players to be able to get on board with that. So, with respect to that, we have the gamepad, 360 controller gamepads for new players, mouse keyboard for every PC player out there, and then joystick for that. I don't want to say older, but the experienced space combat fan, the veterans, yes, yeah. So those kind of guys that they've grown up playing and they're used to the joysticks, and it's a space combat game. It lends itself perfectly to a joystick, and I think it's a bit alien to some people at first, but once you get in tune with it and you're you're inside the mind of the joystick, it's so much fun. It's so intuitive. It obviously works perfectly for flight, and it works great. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's got sort of a level up system in it based on your score. It's a single player game, so does this actually serve any kind of practical purpose? Is there a reason for going back and getting better scores?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the big features we're really proud of is our Save Earth metagame, okay? So we've got sub-objectives in the game that you can choose to ignore. You can choose to ignore, or you might not be able to physically do them because you're not powerful enough. So say, for example, you have a mission to protect the cruiser in your fleet. The secondary objective, is to protect the cruiser in your fleet. And you fail to do that. You'll get to the end of the game, and you might find that New York City has just been leveled, reduced to dust. There's a real notion of action and consequence. So we want people to, get further in the game, unlock better weapons, better upgrades, go back, go protect that cruiser again, and succeed. And you'll see that affects Earth in a different state. Earth will be in a better state at the end of the game.
That could be very, very interesting. I'd like to see what would happen if you could, totally destroy Earth or totally save Earth. That would actually be really, really entertaining. Thanks for letting us take a look at your fantastically wonderful game. It's a mech in space. What more do you need? So yes, I wish you all the best in the future with this game. And speaking of which, what platforms are we expecting to see this on? Is it PC exclusive or?
No, so we're not PC exclusive. We're leading on PC. So yeah, Steam will be our first platform for that. We'll be hitting other digital distributors as well. But console early next year. All things going to plan. So yeah, keep an eye out for that.
Very good. And do we have a price point for it?
It's something we're going to confirm shortly, around the $20, £15 type mark, but we're not committing to an actual price point just yet, so again, keep an eye out.
Well, it seems worth it to me. Wish you all the best in the future and have a good time at the Expo.
Thank you very much. Cheers for your time.
So yes, this has been my look at Strike Suit Zero with Ben from Born Ready Games. I've been Salis, and I will see you next time.